Right, morning YouTubers, two-wheel rider here. So obviously it's our first warm sunny day here in Sussex and I'm not riding. I'm actually going to be in the garage doing some work, but we're going to be doing some of these jobs we were going to do on the Hunter. So I shall turn the camera around and show you what we're going to be doing today. Right, so the immediate job is going to be fitting the tail tidy. That should be fairly straightforward. I've had a little bit of a look underneath. So as far as I can tell, we've got 4 bolts underneath here. We should take this plastic unit off. There might be some little poppers that got to come off there as well. We'll have the number plate off. This has got to be swapped around, which is obviously number plate light. Not sure yet whether that's fixed to the screws. I've already slightly started to undo under there, but we will see how that goes. The seats can, I think I might take the seat off. Hopefully I won't need to take the panniers off because that'd be a pain in the bum. So anyway, tail tide is going to go on and we'll see what that looks like. I'm going to do a little bit of repair to these scratches that I've put on the bike. So I'm going to do a little rub down on there and put some paint on there. I've got a bit of a, it looks like a dent there. So I might undo that, take that off and give that a respray. I'll put some high temperature paint on that to get that done back to where it wants to do. And then I've got the the scratch I got on the mirror. So again, that'll just be a rub down, take the sharp edges off that, and I'll just put some paint on back onto that. Do need to mention this. It was a couple of people mentioned it in the other video where I said, oh, you didn't need the key, you just push that in and it did. And they're absolutely right, you do need the key. Because it felt like when I put it back on, it sort of went click. I thought, oh, that's fine. And then when I did finally get around to looking at it, bound to their better knowledge, because it's probably the first time I'd had that off, that you do need to get that in there and then turn it, because it's not like a springy latch. It's a T-bar, if you like, for want of a better word, that latches into a slot. So thanks for that, guys, because I was riding around like that with it, so it wasn't going to come off, but it was loose, so that's good. I'm still digging my signature seat. I love this seat, it's great. Of course, it gives us a chance to cut the other one up, which I'm going to have a look at presently. Right, number plate first, and then let's crack on. I'll bring it up and show you this. Dip, 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 dip. So it looks like, hang on, turn the camera on. So it looks like these two hold this, but it goes through to hold that back part on. I'm still intrigued that the shape of that tail tidy doesn't quite follow this, so this is going to be interesting. Right, so need to undo these two. I'll catch you again in a sec. Always nice when everything's 10mm. God bless the Indians. Let's just hope it doesn't all fall away in a fighting mess. Looks to me like that goes right way through there. They're not loose. Right, so update. Undid these two. That dropped that main mud guard, and then if you like the undercarriage with the tail tidy on it, because it goes these two screws go through the mud guard and then into the plastic. Can you see that, into the plastic shroud, and it's all sort of dropped away. So obviously what we now got is the light. So that's okay. So in theory, he says confidently, if I unplug that connector there, that's just for the number plate light. So I'll do that and I'll be back with you straight in a sec. Right, so now hopefully you can see that there. So I've taken the whole mud guard off. There was just a simple this connector which just fits under here and sits into that waterproof shell. So now I can sort of see what's going on. So the tail tidy itself is bent correctly. I thought it looked a bit odd. So that will screw into there. The only thing you might have to do with this to make it legit in UK roads is bend that a little bit lower so the number plate can be seen, otherwise it's going to be a little bit horizontal. The other problem I've seen with this is if you don't put this back, which is the inner cradle, all these wires are going to get wet. So essentially what needs to happen here, because that sits up in there like that, so we need to, I think, almost cut away some areas in here. So this isn't a direct replacement. I think if it's you're a really dry country, either you've got to waterproof all those electrical components, which obviously not going to do, or we need a way of taking that off, say about there, because the tail tidy sits in there. So yeah, we're gonna have to work it. So it attaches there. This component attaches here and here, so that's fine. That's got the screws in it. So you've got to have that regardless. You're gonna have to keep this part. But these parts down here will still be exposed a little bit. So I think we need a way of keeping some of this somehow, so that the tail tidy slots into it. Or keeping this part, because this has got the two screws in it. Now there are washers and things to tie that, but what I obviously don't want to do is end up with a big electrical problem and none of my back lights work. So we will work that out and I'll be back with you in a sec. Okay, update. Where are we? So what I've done, I've fitted the actual tail tidy, just put it into position so I get an idea where that piece is going to need to be cut, because it'll have to be cut, because you still need it. But this is how it will actually look, because I need the captive bolts on there. So that's sort of where it'll be. As such, I have bent the bracket down a little bit, so that's, you can actually read the number plate, because I think you will get told off for that. And I need to fit a reflector, which will be a small reflector, which will go on here. So I've ordered those. So I just now need to work out where I'm going to cut that. And I think it's going to need to be sort of, I need to retain as much as possible. I sort of need to sort of cut around the screws a little bit like that, so I'll retain as much of it possible. I'll cut it across there first. Yeah, just bring it over your knee. Probably a bit of kit, that little these little things running. Comes with 2 batteries. It was only about 30 quid, if that. Okay, update. So I've cut the under tray, if you like. So that's been removed. So I cut that twice. So first I need just to get the bulk of it off, and then cut this last little piece where the 2 other screws went. I don't particularly need those because it's got 4 bolts hanging the actual mud guard. That's holding the mud guard on anyway, so that's okay. I've just pulled it up lightly onto the 2 bolts here, so that's the mud guard actually attached, and I've got to put the 2 into here because you've got the captive bolts going through there. They're longer bolts that go through there, but as it sits at the moment, actually doesn't look half bad. Right, so what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to rub off the rough edges on there first. And just that's good. So that's taken that back. We're never going to get the dents out of it. Well, not the deep scratches anyway. It's not much point. But so that's that bit there. And then what I'm going to do, that's not going anywhere. Right, that's fine. So that's where it's going to be. That's pretty clean, and we're going to use. And I'm just going to lightly dust this. I'm not doing any much more than that. So we'll just check that. That's okay. And that's it. Let that dry. This is pretty fast drying, so that's covered up lovely, and this will come up matte anyway, so that's good. And it's obviously high temperature as well because this might get hot from here. So first bit done. I might give that another coat anyway. Cool, that's come out lovely. I'll just show you a little bit tighter so you can see a little bit. You see it? So that's actually come up okay. Right? That's all right. Now I've got to do the mirror. So while that dries, I think I will go and do the same to the mirror, and I will be back. I think we'll take this off. So this is just a heat shield, but it got a little bit scratched up. Give the accident. People are still watching me when this thing fell over. Right, so right. That's interesting. You've got a little bit of salt behind there. Let's see if we can wipe that off a little bit. There's my cloth there, isn't it? I'll give that a wipe down once we've finished with it. I'm going to put I always put my screws back in because I'm terrible for losing screws. And then in 20 years' time, you find out where that nut was, and you think, where's that nut? Actually, there's quite a lot of denting down there. Right, I'm going to try and find what I call Son of Thor, which is my little copper hammer. Just have a go at it. I don't think you can see that, but there's a dent there, sort of goes through, and I've got some scratches on there. So I think I will actually respray that and do that properly, but I'll see if that dent will pop out. Right guys, so the dent did come out. I actually used the rubber mallet. I couldn't find Son of Thor, so I had to get the rubber one. But these are really soft, and it started to sort of rumple the thing, but I've straightened it out. So I was going to get that little rub. I'm going to put some alcohol on it just to take the dirt off it, and I'm just going to blow it over just to bring the colour back. Just remember, if you're using alcohol, that you do get it all off and let it dry properly, because I've done it before and sort of gone a little bit too quick, and the paint just bubbles straight off. So yeah, but it's a lovely day. It's about the best day we've had in months. This is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a blast. I'll remember to put a glove on because I always get covered in spray, and give it a bit of a go. It's quite textured anyway, this metal, so I'm not going to go too mad with it. Right, there she is then, in all her glory. I don't think it looks too bad, that little repair on there. That's alright. I don't know whether the screw should be black really. I'm not sure if I like it with the silver screws on there. But it looks okay. Mirror's good. It's alright. And a little repair on the pannier rack, and there's your tail tidy. So I think it does improve it actually a little bit, the tail tidy. I don't mind that at all. Interesting to see if I get well, rear light stopped working, but I'm soon going to find out. But I think I will do a little repair, not a repair, but just put some waterproofing on there. I did see a way of doing it, but I didn't have any material to do it. Just sort of a piece of hard plastic to act as a deflector on that, but that's easy enough to put right. But you know what? While it's still sunny, I think we need to go out for a ride. So I'm going for a ride. Right, as I go and enjoy a little run around on the Hunter, I thought I'd bring out what's coming up next for the Hunter. It's the big one, guys. We've got the valve check to do, so I am going to do that myself. I've watched enough YouTube videos to hopefully get that right. I've got the kit, I've got the feeler gauges for that, so that's something we're going to be doing on the Hunter. Probably in the next 2 weeks. I might give it an oil service as well while I'm at it, I think, just for the hell of it, and people can see how that works. But yeah, when this bike is warm now, when if I come back from work, etc., and I stop it away, it's quite ticky, tappety, so I need to get that done. I'm also going to see what the next bike review will be as we go for this water everywhere still. I'm going to nip down to Billy's and see what bikes they may have, because I might take another bike out this Friday and do a review for you. Let's see what they've got. Amazed at the response we had on the at Boldor Motorcycles. That's gone really well, been really popular, that. And the Pan-European is pushing along nicely. So yeah, been really good. Thanks for all the comments as usual. It's been really good. So we've got these interesting things coming up.